Okay, YouTube, take five. So hello, my name is R.A. Friedman. I am a portrait artist in Philadelphia. So I think the real question here today is why draw? Why draw portraits? And I'm kind of reminded about people who learn, people who decide, they're in a symphony orchestra, they want to play in orchestra, and they decide to learn the French horn. And the French horn is the most difficult instrument to learn. It takes the longest to learn, supposedly. And that's kind of what portrait drawing is like. Once you can effectively portrait draw, then I think you're pretty much going to be able to tackle drawing just about anything, at least after a little bit of practice and warm up. There's a lot to learn in portrait drawing. It takes a fairly long time. There's no guaranteed timeline. Some people pick it up much more quickly than others. I was a fairly slow learner, I think. But it's usually something that extends of months into years, and you're always improving. The pieces are always getting better, and there's a lot of intricacy. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of anatomy, a lot of information, and don't let this stop you. Because the thing is, what you do is you break it down into small chunks and you learn it over time, and you practice more, and you keep on practicing, and hopefully you practice every day. But the thing is, the practice is fun. This is the thing. I mean, I think this is the important thing. You don't want the practice to be so, you don't want the practice to feel like work. And in fact, if you're someone who works, let's say, in business or in the sciences, or you have something that's not necessarily related to the fine arts, working on art can be a very, very nice, shifting of gears can be very relaxing. Even the learning part, even the part that needs to be technical, because a lot of the learning is simply drawing. I mean, even learning anatomy is simply drawing. So what I'm here to do is, hopefully, you will not have to learn from your own mistakes, but basically you can learn from my mistakes. You can learn from someone else's mistakes. I made a lot in my journey to where I am now. I still make some mistakes, but I can usually remediate them. So that's one of the things that we'll work on is, the common mistakes that people get hung up on, and how to push past those, and also some technical things, like, for instance, how to get good three-dimensionality in your portrait drawings, how to make a head really look like a human head, how to make a portrait, how to get a portrait likeness. We'll talk about things like that. We'll talk about some things that maybe no one else really talks about, but things that I use in my own work. For instance, inventing light sources and playing with those ideas, playing with the idea of light sources and rhythms, looking for things other than necessarily landmarks on the head. For instance, things like what I call tie points and convergences. Things that may sound kind of abstruse and esoteric, but are actually very, very straightforward. So we'll talk about those, and we won't just talk about them. I will show you. I will draw them. I will show them to you on my drawings, so you can actually start to get some ideas. The other great thing about learning how to draw, and this is something that no AI, no machine can ever do for you, is it expands your vision. It both changes how you see the world and how you see, and that's something that is just invaluable. I think it's something that will enrich your life. I think it will make you appreciate what's around you, the visual world, much more, and it'll also allow you to enjoy art drawings, paintings, anything in a gallery or museum or in a public space, art related. So that's another really good reason for learning how to portrait draw in this day and age. So, this very, very simple craft that really all you need is a pencil and paper, and you can create some things that are very, very powerful. We'll also talk about conceptual issues, as well, sort of problems in conceiving what you're working on, and how those may also get in your way. So I think it's going to be a really, really interesting journey and a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'll see you on the next one.